So here we are back on my budget deck channel today with the small combo guide for the Sunavalon deck, because I feel like I did them dirty a little bit last time because I didn't actually post any combo videos or anything else that I said I would. So I decided to make my own, playing against the computer here. It's just to show the basic combo that you can do going off of Sunseed Genius Loci. However, you want to get to this card, but you do want to, and in most cases, 9 out of 10 cases, you will be able to, unless your opponent hand traps you, obviously, in the main time. But what we're going to do is we're going to link this off to one of the Sunavalon Druas and activate its effect, obviously. What we're getting is we're ignoring all of the other stuff for now, because this is just meant to show like the standard kind of hand that you can have. We add to the hand Sunvine Sowing, because this card is a massive combo starter, locks you into plants, but yeah, what does it matter? This is a plant deck. Then we summon out Sunseed Twin. I like to summon them to the right, so I don't mess up any link positionings, because you don't want to put it underneath Adrias. This is one of the important ones. But other than that, there's not much you can do wrong, actually. I like to chain, use this to chain a situation like this, make this chaining 2 and this chaining 1. Does it matter in the end? Probably not. One of them summons out of the graveyard, so technically you could be hand trapped, so it is probably better if you do it this way. But yeah, if the opponent has a hand trap with graveyard stuff, this will come up anyway later on, possibly amongst some of your combos. But yeah, you don't want to be disrupted there. So the Ghost Bell is something to be aware of. Still, the Crow I think still might work, but then they would have to do it beforehand anyway. So doesn't matter with this one. And yeah, we will then use Sunvine Healer to well, gain some life points. This is important because you want to have more life points than your opponent. And then we start our main combo, which is we go into the link, well, one of the best plant links ever printed, I might say, Aromatherapy Jasmine. And then we go into some other kind of things, and here we want to watch out about what we're doing, because we want to use the twin to go into another Trias, because only the twin can be used for Trias, if I'm not mistaken. I think for the second one we want to go into Sunvine Healer, which you can only use normal plant monsters for, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, make sure this is what you've been doing. Don't use the wrong monsters for the wrong stuff, and we gain some more life points. Just turn off the chain for now, because we don't need it. And now we can get our first search. The first search is Aromage Laurel, because this gains us more life points after. We can special summon it now, and then we can use it to go into our second Aromatherapy Jasmine, because the search effect isn't once per turn, which is, well, it's not a hard once per turn at least. So we can do it again by linking them off, activating Laurel's effect. See, this is where technically Ghost Bell could stop you again from getting another search if they want to hand trap a plus 500 life point gain. But if they know the deck, then they might want it to do this. I don't know. Better than nothing. And what we can do here is we search a card that technically could be Rose Girl, but at this point you can actually search lots of different stuff. And I prefer, instead of searching Rose Girl, I actually prefer searching Snowdrop, because now we have Snowdrop. We usually don't have this card in hand, but I'll be getting to this in a second. Then we activate Aromatherapy Jasmine, attribute the Sunvine Healer. We special summon out the Petal, because Rikka Petal can actually add Rikka card to hand. I'm doing this one now. Usually you, well, could send it to the graveyard as well, but usually what you want to be adding is Mudan, the Rikka Fairy, and then you have in hand Snowdrop and Mudan, and from this point onwards you can go into your link 4. Not that it matters like what you do when it comes to the, or what you do first, but I like to do this first. Doesn't really matter all that much, I feel. And next then you do your Rika combo, you tribute this one for, and you special summon your Mudan, which is quite good. And that is that, then you use Mudan to search one of your spell traps. You could go for Rika Glamour if for some reason you want to have more Rika stuff in your hand. This is mainly more of a card if you draw into it, or if you already drew into Rika Sheet, so you do have that option as well, because Glamour can actually do certain things if you search for the level 1 monster, because then you have 2 different things that you can search with it, especially if you tribute your monster. But yeah, Rika Glamour is like deck thinging, and if you draw into it, it can be quite nice. So if you already have Sheet, then that works, but mainly you want to be searching Sheet. And then you activate the effect of the Snowdrop Rika Fairy, make them both level 6. Usually if you run the level 8, you would go into the level 8, but like this, in this specific deck profile, what you do is you go into the rank 6 because you don't run the rank 8 because it's an ultra rare, if I'm not mistaken. And like this is your 1 card combo basically, which ends you with 2 disruptions, which is 1 blanket monster negate. Usually it doesn't come up all that much that you can negate multiple monster effects, because it just, you know, they don't activate at the same time. Usually you want to shut down one specific choke point of your opponent, so it doesn't really matter that much. And 1 Rika Sheet, and then you have like possibly still like 4 other cards in hand where you can do stuff with. You just set Solemn Judgment, set Forbidden Chalice, and get heavy Feather Storm Dustard. But yeah, it is what it is. You can always extend on stuff if you have certain extenders that can get you into Link 1. You can use Sunsea Twin to go into Link 2, and then you can do certain other things to keep going. If you have another way to tribute a monster, for example, then you can use the level 6 Rika during your turn as well. Usually it's quite nice during your opponent's turn, but it gives you a bit of protection and stuff. But you could also use it during your turn, get another monster out of your graveyard. There's so many things you can do with, depending on the cards that you have in your hand as well. But that's just like the simple standard combo. 1 card gets you into like 2 disruptions and protection, and can get stuff out of your graveyard, and there's quite a lot of stuff that you can be doing. It's good going first. It's actually not too bad going second with some minor adjustments, and yeah, that is the main kind of combo that you try to be doing. But there's so much stuff with plant links. There's so many videos out there. There's so many different things depending on what cards you run your extra deck that you can do, that there's no limits to your imagination. If you want to learn all the combos there's so many. And like I said, depending on what extra deck monsters you run, the 1 card Sunavalon combo can actually extend to like a greater length than just this. But this is like a cheaper version, so we don't run certain ones that you would need to run at least at 1 or 2. So it would make sense to extend even more and even more and even more. But this is like the basic kind of combo: 2 disruptions and some other stuff that you then can be doing. Hope you enjoyed the hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it, and hope you have fun playing this deck, because I definitely did.